welcome back to my channel. Today I decided that I would let you guys know the things that I use during my first trimester. Most of these things are just for any pregnancy, not specifically for twins. There is one thing that you might get a little earlier if you're expecting twins. So I'm out of my first trimester. I have been feeling okay. I've been having a lot of headaches because of the car accident, which I mentioned before. So Tylenol I've had on hand, but I try not to take it very often. So I've been using a lot of ice packs, a lot of peppermint oil, most everything. But there are days when it's so bad. So I went to my doctor for a checkup and he prescribed me just a little bit more of a better dosage of Tylenol, but it's prescription. It's like prescription strength Tylenol laced with caffeine. And I cannot tell you how much that helped. Just one pill of that made a huge difference in how I felt of waking up with headaches or migraines. And because of the car accident, he feels that it's just not gonna go away because my muscles are growing. My stomach is growing. It's all kind of interlocked. And so the prescription, I guess you would say prescription strength Tylenol laced with caffeine helped a lot. I also don't drink caffeine, especially like I might have a little tea here or there. I try not to drink a lot of coffee. If I take the pills that the doctor prescribed me, I won't drink any caffeine for that day, just to doubly make sure. So here are a few things that if you are pregnant with twins in your first trimester that you might want to start using, or maybe you already know, but I got this book, Expecting Better. I don't know if you can see it. And I listened to her podcast on TED Talks, and she talks a lot about how not old wives' tales, but things that you shouldn't do during pregnancy that's just been passed along from generation to generation maybe don't fit in our society anymore, such as deli meat. Now she does talk about like, you still shouldn't eat turkey. Turkey is the main source of the listeria in deli meat, but she does talk about you can have a glass of wine every now and then. So I personally haven't had any because we have gone through so many rounds of IVF and so much trying for these babies that I just will stick to the no alcohol. It doesn't bother me not to have alcohol. Every now and then I'll have a little sip of my husband's glass of wine, but it really doesn't bother me to not have a glass of wine. It's also so hot outside right now that I don't care. But this is a really great book to read, Expecting Better by Emily Oster. I would highly suggest that, and I'll link everything below. So another one that my friend gave me, I haven't read this yet, but I read her first book. It's called Holy Shit, We're Having Twins, which is, I think, so perfectly named because holy shit, we're having twins. And it is a shock when you first learn it, and it is, it's quite shocking. There's really not much more to say about that, but this is her revised, Elizabeth Lyons, her revised twin book. I read her first book. I'm actually going to start Holy Shit, We're Having Twins pretty soon, but Ready or Not, Here We Come, I read all the way through, and it's pretty much her first book of the Holy Shit, We're Having Twins. So Holy Shit, We're Having Twins is the revised version. Ready or Not, Here We Come, I think was written back in 2007. And I was reading through it and I was like, how old is this book? Because some of the things are pretty outdated. I think she was saying something about TiVo and Oprah Winfrey, and like, oh, if you watch Oprah, you know, while you're on bed rest, it'll make you feel better. I was like, Oprah isn't on TV really anymore. And then she's like, oh, TiVo, your favorite TV shows. And I was like, well, I have Hulu. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, it was written in 2007. This Holy Shit, We're Having Twins is 2016. So holy shit, we're having twins is 2016. So it's more updated. So it's probably more your speed. I was given Ready or Not, Here We Come first. So I read that book cover to cover, and then I got this one. So when I first started this one, I was like, that sounds quite familiar. So she uses some of the same things in both books. I would start with this one though. The next thing I would do is get some oil for your stretch marks. Now, you probably won't start showing until out of your first trimester, but I started stretch mark oil immediately, and I use a couple of different kinds. I have this one that my friend gave me. I have another one that I like that I got off Amazon that I'll link below. And then I also use vitamin E oil, Jason's vitamin E oil. This is actually just all natural vitamin E oil. I started using it when I was pregnant the first time. It smells good. It's good for your skin. I don't really know if it helps with stretch marks, but I just use it. They're fighting because one of them's eating, the other one's done eating. The one that's done eating wants to eat the other one's food. So, it's paraben, sulfate, phthalate free. It's all natural. It can't hurt. So I use the vitamin E oil along with some of my belly oil as well. I use a bunch of different oils all day long, and I think I have cocoa butter and shea butter, and sometimes I'll mix the shea butter and the vitamin E oil together, and that is pretty helpful. I like to mix the coconut oil and the vitamin E oil together in the morning and put it on. You do have to really rub it in though, because it'll get on your clothes. So I just make sure to rub it in really well, let it dry, kind of, and then I'll get dressed. So like kind of right out of the shower, I'll put it on, and then I'll let it kind of settle in. Another thing that I got that helped a little bit was Preggo Pop drops. Now, so a friend sent me these, and you can get them at Target. However, I searched 3 different Targets for these. You can only, I think, get them online. Well, at least in Florida. I could not find these anywhere, but everybody was like, oh, you have to get the Preggo Pops from Target. I could not find them anywhere. So if Target has them somewhere, they were hiding them pretty well, because I had no clue where they are. So a friend sent them to me in a box from Target. Thank you so much. I ate, if you can see, I ate all the red, purple, and green ones. And the yellow and orange are still left. And this one I haven't opened yet. So I never got nauseous to the point of vomiting, but I did get really nauseous quite often. So around dinner time is when my nausea would set in. So I really didn't eat a lot of dinner, but I will tell you that better than the Preggo Pops was these Outshine fruit bar popsicles in the lime flavor. I love these. I would eat them 2 to 3 times a night. These really got me through some bouts of nausea, and they say morning sickness, but again, all of mine came at night. So I got these at Publix. We'd probably get them at Kroger, any supermarket. Outshine fruit bars. These were great for my nausea and morning sickness. Okay, so the next thing that if you're pregnant with twins, or any pregnancy, but especially twins, I highly suggest getting a water bottle that comes numbered with the ounces, so you know how much you're drinking a day. My doctor suggests drinking a gallon of water a day. That's a lot of water. And because I work outside and because I work in Florida, I really strive to drink a gallon of water a day. When you are pregnant with twins, my first trimester took so much energy out of me. And if I didn't eat before I drank water is when I would feel nauseous. So I would always have some crackers and then I would just start downing water. I really do highly suggest getting the numbers so you can keep track of how much you're drinking. I had another water bottle. It didn't have the numbers and I really didn't know. So I like this water bottle because it flips up. I can lock it. I got this from Target. I can link it on Amazon. I pretty much drink water all day long. I don't really drink anything else. I occasionally will we have Gatorade Pops at work. So I try to have a Gatorade Pop once a day just to get a little bit of sodium in there. But definitely I would invest in a water bottle that you can take everywhere with you, because especially if you're pregnant with twins and especially if you're pregnant in the summertime, water is very, very important. Okay, so my last thing that I feel like you need, pregnant with twins or not, is a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or some type of device that will help you keep track of your heart rate, your steps. I like the Fitbit mostly because I've just been using it for years. I think I've been a Fitbit person for like 10 years. But it helps me keep track of my steps, but it also helps me keep track of my heart rate. So when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to have your heart rate over 140. As a performer, that tends to not happen for me. My heart rate will spike pretty high when I'm on stage. So I just try and monitor how much energy I'm putting out. If I have to take it back a little bit, then that's fine. I also want to be able to reach 10,000 steps a day, which is your allotted steps, even if it's just taking my dogs for a walk, because I feel like that keeps me a little bit healthier and keeps me a little bit not as lazy. I will say that though, in the first trimester, reaching that goal of 10,000 steps a day was not gonna happen. I was exhausted all the time. I didn't want to take my dogs out. I felt so bad for them. I would just let them out in the backyard and be like, okay, go play. So now that I'm in my second trimester, I've been walking them more. I do still walk at work a lot. It's a far walk from the parking lot to my stage. I do a lot of walking at the stage. So I just want to make sure that I'm staying within the heart rate that I'm supposed to be. I really enjoy the Fitbit. I will say though, Fitbit added a female tracker so you can track your cycles. They did not add a pregnancy like sidebar to that. So if you're tracking your cycles and you get pregnant, there's no way to tell Fitbit. So Fitbit, fix that. Like, I don't know, it kind of annoys me that they were like, oh, we have all this women's health now. No, I'll use my period tracker, my Kandara for that. So the last thing that I ended up getting during my first trimester, and actually my dog just jumped up on it, is a pregnancy pillow. I got this one from Bye Bye Baby. I started feeling really uncomfortable sleeping around 10, 11 weeks. Normally, a lot of women don't get a pregnancy pillow until mid-second trimester because that's when you pop, that's when you start getting uncomfortable when you sleep. I needed mine really early on. I was having trouble sleeping almost from the beginning. As soon as I started growing 10, 11, 12 weeks, I invested in a pregnancy pillow. Finley. Some of my friends were like, oh my gosh, the pregnancy pillow is the best thing ever. I hate mine. I hate it. I sleep with it every night, but I hate it. So the reason that I don't like it is that I like to sleep on my back and I kind of like to sleep on my stomach. That's just something that you can't do when you're pregnant. Especially when I sleep on my back or even lay on my back now, I get some round ligament pain in my stomach. So I can't do that. I'm just really not used to sleeping with a huge pillow in between my legs. And it's taken some getting used to. I'm better at it now, but every time I move, I feel it. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, but I sleep on it every single night. So if you're feeling uncomfortable when you sleep early on in your twin pregnancy, get a pregnancy pillow. You might love it. One of my good friends loves it. She thinks it's the best thing ever. I'm not one of those persons. I just don't like it very much, but it's helping. Those are my first trimester must-haves if you're pregnant with twins or if you're pregnant with singleton. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Please subscribe, please like. I'm loving hearing from all of you, and I hope to see you next time, and thanks for following along.